All right, folks, this is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Time to get this show started. Let's go. All right. Hey, and good morning, everybody. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to welcome you all to the show this morning. Looks like our connection is working this morning, which is kind of fun. Um, and folks, I want to apologize for yesterday's show. We had like the serious meltdown. Yeah, we had. I don't know how to explain it, but we had just a lot of issues that went on, and when it goes bad, it just goes bad. So hopefully you were able to watch the show online on our website because we put it up probably a half an hour after the show came on, which is great. So I want to welcome all my friends over at on Facebook, on YouTube, where we encourage you, if you are on YouTube, that you go over to this little symbol right here, and which is our logo, and just click it, and um, you'll be updated every time the show airs. So we really encourage you to be a part of that, and subscribe to our page. Also, up in the corner now. So up in the corner, and I'm trying to figure out which finger to use here. Let's use this finger. So up in this finger over here, we moved the QR code, folks. So the QR code is over my shoulder now, and you can actually check it out. So I'll just go like this because I know what shoulder it is. Just over our shoulder is the QR code. If you click on that, folks, put your phone up there to it. It'll take you right to our website. So anytime I mention it, you can actually do that. So once again, I want to welcome all of our friends on Facebook or joining us on the Livin in Vegas page or Livin in Vegas mag page, the business page, Livin Weekly. Got to be on that Livin Weekly page, which is always cool. And yeah, so everybody's up. So everybody's up and live. What I encourage you to do, if you've got I don't know, if you got a comment or something like that, I can actually see it now, which is cool. I can see everybody right now. And for those of you, this might be your first time joining us. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, which is up and just peachy keen. It's up right now. Go to our website, livininvegas.com. That's once I put this down, you can actually just QR code it and go up to our website, and you can check that out. We've got some great articles in there, and I really, I just encourage you to be a part of everything that we're doing with Livin in Vegas Mag. So let's pay a couple of bills here real quick, and then we'll be back in just a second. Hi, I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Yeah, folks, and I'm so glad that we've got a lot of people who are actually we're putting a lot of stuff in the can, how they say it now. Right now, where we're going to be doing some interviews and changing up things just a little bit more, add a little more interesting stuff to the show, because I think things got to keep getting interesting. So we're very excited about that. Okay, so once again, I want to. We mentioned this yesterday on the show, and some of you probably didn't hear it because we had a major crash, that we do upload all of our shows to our website. So livininvegas.com, and once again, you can go to our, right above my shoulder here, our QR code. You can go to our website and anytime, and all of the shows are on our website. So they're all the video all the video shows are there, and you can check them all out. You can download them, and they're on YouTube. They're on our website. And if you want to just hear the audio, and some people just want to hear the audio, some people just don't like my face. That's all right. You can go to Spotify, and Spotify has our podcast on just audio only. So they have the video too, but they have the audio only, and you can just Google it there. Say Living in Vegas podcast on Spotify. First, well, we're the number one there. So, also, congratulations to all of the graduating seniors from UNLV. Yay! So very cool that you're actually able out there. You're going out on the road now. You've got your life ahead of you, and we're going to talk about some job fairs that are out there right now, and I think some of them might be in your wheelhouse. So, pretty darn cool. I want to welcome everybody who is on our website. Can already see that people are already on the show, and you're checking us out, which is great. Thank you so much. Go ahead and say hello if you want. Don't be shy. Say hello to us, and we'd love to say hello to you too. And let's get something started here. So let's get this out of the way, because this is just a terrible story, but we have to talk about it. This guy right here, folks. This is many of you heard about the California church shooting this weekend down in Southern Cal, and come to find out that the guy who was the shooter is actually from Las Vegas. Yeah, his name is David Chow, 68 years old. He's a U.S. citizen who immigrated from China. And he worked as a security guard here in Las Vegas, and he was renting out a room before he went over to California. So, we're going to come back to this story a couple of times today, because it's just, oh gosh, this is just a terrible thing. This guy is actually being charged with how many felonies? Just a buttload of felonies. And he shot and killed one guy, and also, I believe, shot 5 other people. So, yeah, 1 count of murder with the use of a gun, 5 counts of attempted murder, 4 counts of unlawful possession of explosives. We're going to talk a little bit more about that too. It wasn't just that he shot a gun. He actually had a lot of stuff going on. This guy planned to do a lot of damage, and can you believe this? I mean, what a nut that he goes out to California just to do that. On a happier note, the Las Vegas National Golf Course. It's at 1911 East Desert Inn Road, and this is old school Vegas, folks. This is just old school Vegas. If you've not been a part of Vegas for very long, one of the things that you've noticed is that we are in a desert. And because we're in a desert, we have a lot of desert land, and we have not as much water as you think, but a lot more than you'd be surprised to know how much water we have. But over the last 20 plus years, because of a drought situation that's been plaguing us here in Southern Nevada, quite a few number of golf courses were actually being redeveloped, pulled out, turned into something else. As a matter of fact, the AMP, which is over on the north side of the valley, used to be the old Craig Ranch golf course, and I used to go there years ago. And now that was torn out a number of years ago. It was just a big park for a while, and now it is like a big meeting place. So they've redeveloped a lot of these places. Silverstone, Black Mountain, Desert Pines, all are on the chopping block. Badlands actually is on the chopping block too. That's basically up in Summerlin area. But this particular park, last one, Las Vegas National Golf Course, they were eyeballing this thing. Now it's in the newly master plan overlay area called Paradise Palms. And Paradise Palms is an old school part of Vegas off of Desert Inn near the Boulevard Mall area. And that area has been around for literally generations, just a long time. I remember going to the Boulevard Mall when it was fairly new, when I was a kid. Well, just behind there is there's a domed house there. There's a geodesic domed home there. There's also a home underground in there, which is very kind of cool. But there's also a golf course back there, and it's right off of Desert Inn. Well, that was on the chopping block too. Tick Segerblum, who's a county commissioner, met with community leaders, homeowners, who were basically in an uproar about this. They're saying, no, don't take away our golf course because it has such historical value. One of them is not just that it's an old school golf course that shouldn't be taken down in the first place, but number two, it's the site of Tiger Woods. I think Tiger Woods, one of his first championships that he won was at that particular golf course. Just so many, you can go in there and see pictures on the walls. It's just very cool, folks. I mean, just very cool. We in Vegas tend to tear down everything for every new idea that comes along. So it's good to see that people are fighting to keep this particular golf course still going. So I'm very excited about that. Once again, they just made an announcement about that, and they said, hey, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that if there are any changes to this area, that you at least have a say in it, homeowners, because it's just kind of crazy that you just tear away everything and they have no idea what's going on. So thank you, Tick Segerblum, for doing something that we think that you should be doing in the city of Las Vegas. There's another thing we need to talk about here, folks. Club 44. So Club 44, for those of you who don't know what it is, we at Livin in Vegas magazine are pushing hard for our July release of our magazine. And we need you as an advertiser to step up. We are reserving 44 spaces for a select few business owners to be a part of the foundational core of Livin in Vegas magazine. Now, here's the thing about it, folks, and I'll just take 1 minute because then we're going to break because I don't want to take it forever long on this. If you could have gotten in on Twitter from the beginning, maybe that's not a good example. Microsoft, Apple, Ben and Jerry's ice cream, Starbucks, whatever. If you could have gotten in on the beginning of those companies, would you, in retrospect, would you say, yeah, I would step up to the plate and be a part of that company? Well, that's the same thing with Livin in Vegas. Folks, we've got vision for some cool things coming up. We really do. And I want you to trust me. I have never started something that I've not been very successful at. And Livin in Vegas is one of those things. And I'm as sure of that as anything else I've ever done in my life. And I've run a lot of companies and done a lot of stuff. So Livin in Vegas magazine is special. It's unique. And I really believe that it can help you as a business owner propel your business forward. And I believe that if we can do that for you as a business owner, then you should jump on board with us and be a part of Livin in Vegas magazine. So anyways, if you'd like to be an advertiser at Livin in Vegas magazine, help us get to our print level, because we're digital right now. We want to get to our print level and then beyond. Of course, we got things that we're doing beyond that. Send me your contact information. Say, I want to be a part of Club 44. Just send it to info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com. You can be a part of Club 44. Okay? All right. So anyways, folks, we're out of time today. If you'd like to watch the rest of this video in its entirety, go to our website at Livin in Vegas, or so right over my shoulder here, the QR code. Just QR code it in about another half an hour, and you can actually see the entire show. We'll have it uploaded for you, and you can actually check out the entire show for Livin in Vegas magazine, the podcast. If not, we'll see you again tomorrow for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of Livin in Vegas, think Livin Local. I'm Sherman Ray, publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. All right, folks, and we are back, folks. This is Sherman Ray, and this is Living in Vegas podcast. Thank you all so much for being a part of the show. In the last segment, we talked a little bit about the golf course here in Las Vegas. Yeah, we've got a golf course that's just being saved from the auction block, so we're very excited about that. And now Vegas has got a lot of golf courses. I was actually up at one this morning. It's called Eagle Crest, which is way up in Sun City, Summerlin. So I rode up, if you go up Lake Mead Boulevard, not going east, but go west on Lake Mead Boulevard, almost to the top of Lake Mead Boulevard, on the south side, I think it's Tom Reese is the name of Tom Thumb. Tom Reese. Tom Reese is a friend of mine. Make a left on Tom Thumb, and literally 100 yards down the street, off of Lake Mead Boulevard, is Eagle Crest Golf Course. It's tucked away there. We have a lot of golf courses. And then, of course, I passed another golf course coming back down the hill as I was coming back down towards my home. So, but we want to save them. We want to save as many of them as we possibly can. Let's talk about a new sheriff that's in town. Okay, our new chief of police. And this is Jacqueline. Jacqueline Gravitt. And she is the new police chief for the city of North Las Vegas. Congratulations to her. And Jacqueline has been with the force for like 20 years. She has been a part of pretty much every department in the city. She's been with special investigation. She's been an investigator. She's done a lot of stuff, which is great. And the thing about what she's been doing is she's been the assistant chief since January. And so we're very excited for her that she was just named the chief over there. After she was appointed the acting chief when Pamela Ojeda retired after 26 years of service. She did. She had 26 years on the North Las Vegas as a police chief, and Gravitt is now the person. So the interesting thing about it is she also, her deputy or her assistant chief is also an African American. His name is Michael Harris, and he has been basically, those two have been like locked at the hip for a long time now. And so now he is being promoted also. So he's the assistant, she's the chief. And they together in the last number of years between them and acting chief Ojeda brought down the crime in North Las Vegas 35%. Yeah, so it wasn't just one of those appointments where they said, hey, guess what? You're the right color. Because it happens. We all know that happens. That they actually have done the work, which is great. So we're very excited for them. They are into community engagement, community-oriented policing, and so very excited that they're actually able to do some really cool stuff for the city of North Las Vegas. Back to the city of Las Vegas, though, they've also got we're cracking down on crime, which is great. I'm so excited about this. So this is the Click It or Ticket campaign, and it's going to be running for the next 2 weeks. What does that mean? Well, that means they're going to be looking for guys who are not plugged in. They don't have their seatbelts on. And the reason for that is because we've seen in the city of Las Vegas, and this isn't just for the city of Las Vegas. This is for Henderson, North Las Vegas, that the Nevada Highway Patrol, that they're all targeting people who are not wearing their seatbelts. And here, I'll tell you a really quick story about this. This is kind of funny, but it wasn't funny at the time. I have 3 daughters. I was taking 2 of them on a vacation with me. We're going to Tijuana, Mexico. This is a few years back. So we go to Tijuana. We have a great time. Yay, yay, yay. We're coming back across the San Diego area, and there, of course, the line, of course, is a mile long. So we're kind of sitting there in the car and waiting for our time to, go across. And one of the federales, policemen for Mexico, points at us and he goes, "Hey, you, over this way." So we get out of line and we pull over. And so I've got one daughter sitting in the front seat, the other one in the back seat. He says, "Hey, is that your wife?" And I go, "No, it's my daughter." Oh my gosh, I mean, she's tall, but she's not. There's no way she could be my wife. 15-year-old kid or 12-year-old kid, whatever she was. And he says, "Well, she doesn't have her seatbelt on." And I go, "Oh man, that sucks," And I just, my daughter was always in the habit of never putting on her seatbelt, and I was never in the habit of saying, "Hey, put on your seatbelt, put on your seatbelt." To make a long story short, $100 later, which probably went into the pocket of the federales. Not saying that these guys are shifty, shape, even though I was very upset at the time. The Nevada Highway Patrol, city officials are all saying, "Look, as parents, you really need to be vigilant about this. This is not." They said, there was a statistic talking about the fatalities. In 2021, 382 people lost their lives on Nevada roadways. The worst year for traffic fatalities since 2007. And so 2021, it wasn't so bad because we had COVID, or 2020, it wasn't so bad because we had COVID. 2021, it went up precipitously because of people getting out on the roads and acting like a fool. So, if your kids are not clicked in, if they're not, and just remind yourself, slow down, put your seatbelt on, you'll get there. You really will. There's no need to go driving around crazy. As a matter of fact, we just, in a related story, a bicyclist, and you know why I'm bringing this up. It's right, because I'm a bicyclist. A bicyclist was killed, and he was riding in the same area I was riding last week. Sure was. Earlier, Monday of last week, I was in the Tule Springs area. I know it because I was reading the sign that said Tule Springs, and I never ride up there. And it's because you can come over the 95 and the Durango overpass, and the first street that you drop down into, going to the right, coming back down towards town, is in the Tule Springs area. And I remember riding by there. A guy just got killed there, riding his bike, not because he was driving erratic. It's because a driver was driving erratic, and he killed the guy. Folks, slow down. There's really no need. We're chill. We really are very chill here in Las Vegas. There's no need to go crazy and risk killing somebody because you want to get to the nearest whatever as quickly as you can. So we made an announcement yesterday. This is Pete DeBoer. Pete was the coach for the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, I know. It was a surprise move. Evidently, the higher-ups at the Vegas Golden Knights said, "Look, we're looking for a new guy." And it has nothing to do with the fact that the Golden Knights lost or did not make the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. Has everything to do with a new direction that they want to go for next year. So they asked the folks over at the Vegas Golden Knights, "Hey, is it something he did?" They go, no, he's actually a good coach. But we want to move. It has nothing to do with him. It has something to do with us, and we want to do some cool things next year. He's not a part of the plan. So the Golden Knights are saying we're not going to rush into this. We're not going to really jump and go crazy with this. We're going to take our time. But with 4 months to go before training camp starts again, they've got to make up their minds here pretty quick. So thank you, Coach Pete DeBoer, that you gave us a couple of good years, and we want to thank you for all that you've done. Also, in a related story, this guy right here, the old coach for the Las Vegas Aces, Bill Lambert. Remember him? used to be the Detroit Bad Boy. Then he became the head coach for the Las Vegas Aces. They're going to honor him Thursday, the 19th. So in another couple of days, they're going to honor him as the team takes on Minnesota at 7 p.m. So the Las Vegas Aces are hosting Bill Lambert night Thursday, May the 19th, as the team honors the legendary coach for his tremendous contributions to the Aces in the WNBA. So very cool. I remember, and many of you remember Bill Lambert. He was a shocker when he was playing for the Detroit Pistons. Him and Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman, all the guys. That's when it was fun. It was just fun to watch those guys. They're such crybabies. It is what it is. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, let's talk about UNLV baseball. So I just got a couple more minutes here. I'm sorry, folks. We're going to rush really through this. UNLV did a great job. This game was actually a couple of days ago, but they beat the Bulldogs 13-7. So excited about that. And that's Fresno State, for those of you who don't know who they are. We were tattooing them from the first inning to the last inning. Actually, the sixth inning, we had 7 runs in the sixth inning. So did an awesome job, and we swept them during that series. Our next game is actually, who are we playing? Our next game, oh gosh, I just saw this. Our next game is San Diego State. So that's Thursday. It's our next game. We're going to be playing at Earl Wilson Stadium, so it'll be great. If you've not been watching UNLV, really, and you know, we harp on UNLV all the time. The girls are number 3 seed. The girls softball were number 3 seed. The guys are doing fantastic. So, I think the guys are number 1. I'm pretty sure the guys are UNLV Hustling Rebels are number 1 in the Mountain West. You heard it here, folks. I'm telling you, get on the Rebel train. That's all there is to it. Get a tattoo like I do. Okay, I won't show you my tattoo, but I got one. Okay, and it's a UNLV Rebel tattoo. All right, so I was lying. But if I was going to get a tattoo, it'd be a UNLV Rebel tattoo because I love those Rebels. But I think we are. I think we're number 1 in the Mountain West, and we're doing some fantastic things. Next game, once again, is Thursday, and you can actually check that out. Do I have time for one more story? I don't. I really don't. I'm not going to rush through a story well, maybe I can. Let's talk about Kelsey Plum then. Okay, so Kelsey Plum, many of you know who Kelsey Plum is. That's right. She is our point guard for the Las Vegas Aces. This was her when she played on the 3-on-3 team for USA, represented the United States for the Olympics. Cool story about her is Becky Hammond, who's our new coach, is saying that Kelsey is the new unguardable guard for the Aces. That the points that she scores, the elusiveness, the basketball sense she has, the way she's able to dish the ball off to our scoring people like Asia Wilson, and that she has become a tour de force. And so we're going to be looking for even more stuff from her this year. So Kelsey, if you've not noticed on the buses, you're driving down the street, RTC buses, don't have pictures of Asia Wilson on it. They got pictures of Kelsey Plum on it, which is very cool because she came off the bench in the 3rd season, I believe it was, showed that she should be on that she actually should be starting, and she's doing a fantastic job. So we thank you for what you're doing, Kelsey. Anyways, we want to say thank you all for being a part of the show. We will see you again tomorrow for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of Livin in Vegas, think of Livin Local. This is Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.